what's creating a little problem for you is that your left hand's too loud.
Yeah.
So with the left hand being so loud and the a little bit excessive pedal, we're not really hearing enough of the right hand, and you're not getting the crispness of those chords. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's do it again. Really be conscious of the whole thing having to be piano. So if the right hand, we still, that should be piano too. We don't want to have to pound out the right hand. So you really have to bring the left hand down quite a bit. Okay? Remember what it is not so, you know, for softer we have smaller motion. Really small. Okay? So just keep it there and very even. You can practice it as octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think that would help. The other thing was, I did want to talk to you about that chromatic scale. Is that giving you a little difficulty coming down?
Yeah.
Okay, so use the fingering you have in your, I think your fingering is pretty good in this edition. Oh, I use a little different fingering. Do you want me to give you my fingering? Sure. Okay. I definitely put the B flat on the fourth finger on that. I go to a 3 here instead of a 4. 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. There's where I go to a 4 again. All right, let me do it. Okay, so then, yeah. I do it so I get the 4 on the B flat. Okay, so let me just see. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. The E flat here is a 3. Okay. That's a, oh shoot, I lost it. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, and that goes down. Okay, so that's something you can work on. I know you can clean that up, but I think that fingering, I think you'll find is much. I like just like it better. For me, it works. So I figure if it works for me, it'll work for you.
Yeah.
Your hand is not too different in size from mine. It's not so bad. No,
Yeah.
you don't have such a small hand. Okay, let's do it again. Now this section, try to keep the left hand soft and try to keep that right hand nice and crisp with a little more top voice. Okay? So right here, this chord is just a rival. It shouldn't be, it is a natural crescendo to it, but it shouldn't be so loud.
Yeah.
So try to place it. And this, the first time you played it, the very first time, this chord was too loud. Now you tapered it a little bit better. So I just like to sometimes point out the things that that worked better for you. And I hadn't mentioned that, so I don't know if you did that consciously or unconsciously. Okay, so the first time you had had to, and it was a little bit too loud there. The second time you did. So the second time you taper it and you got it piano, which was much better. And sometimes I find if I don't point out the things that a student does right that I like, sometimes it was only by chance, you may not do it again that way. So as you say, let's do this one more time again. And with a little more care on that chord, not to totally punch it out, because we're in the beginning of a crescendo. So it is a high point of the phrase though. So it's not that it should be, you shouldn't back away from it by any means.
Okay.
Okay, just maybe not quite so loud. Okay. Okay, keep going. Here, I'd like this to be a little bit more of a sforzando. It sounds better down here. I can't play it from this direction, but you just need to have a little more punch to those chords.
Okay.
Okay, that G octave. Okay. Together, because it's not having enough of an impact. So, okay, so just a little bit more. Take it there, right there. Okay, now it's almost, now it's just a little bit too much.
Okay.
Okay, when you do the sforzando, make sure that the left hand backs. It still has to come back down to piano, right? Where are we? Right here, this starts out a whole piano section. So these sforzandos are just in the piano dynamic. You can crescendo within that, within each grouping. There's a, but you have to kind of, after the sforzando, it has to be. It has to get back into that piano sort of tonal quality, okay? And each successive time, it can build a little bit more. So then when you're finally okay, but once you've actually arrived at the first one, he's doing the same cadence, how many? 4 times. Don't do it the same way each time. Okay? Okay, let's just take it from the top of that page on that sforzando, diminished 7th chord. Okay, so I just have to say, I think what is going to need a lot of practice. You're not getting the staccato enough with your fingers, and a little bit more with your arm. So your arm can be a little bit bouncier. Use the weight of your arm. Okay, I think that will help. Just practice it in slow motion. Slow motion once. It's a little too much of the upper arm. I don't think we need so much of that, because otherwise it's going to get too loud. But just a little bit, of bouncing. Forearm, and make sure you use the fingers to get the staccato too, okay? At the tempo that you, and when you get it the faster tempo, make sure you don't hold those quarter notes too long, because you want to make sure you have the rest that's written here, okay? Observe those rests. Okay, let's continue. Da, 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 da. To check something over here. Okay, it's just wanted to make sure it was still. I'm going to be editing this down anyway. Okay, so make sure these are nice, warm forte here. Okay, and I'm looking at the time, and you're probably tired, and I'm getting there too. Just make sure this is a warm forte. Warm. Okay, use your arm weight so you're not punching. Okay? Let's see. Oh my goodness. There's still so much more in here to cover, but I think the thing that right now needs some work is was back in here with the hands crossing. Dun, 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 dun. The hands weren't exactly together, and I think that you have to think a little bit of the sort of the bigger scope of it. Right now, I feel like you're thinking left hand, crossing over bass, then right bass, and and everything's sort of a little bit compartmentalized. So it would be nicer if there was just a little bit grander idea of where it's going harmonically and what's going on with that. This was very nice. I like the sound of the bell sound. With the E flats, and I think you had a good, very good, crispness to those staccato, and it was clean sounding. I think it has to be a little bit drier in this section. Okay, not necessarily drier than what you did. I'm saying drier in general, comparatively speaking. So that I liked, definitely. So just before you ended here, these fortes are only fortes, okay? So you must make them a little bit warmer and really relax the arm. So I think that's one of the things that we need to still work on with you, is to remember to let go of the tension, and even in places that are quick and even staccato, that you still have to have a little more relaxed And the strength and the articulation, it has a lot more in the fingers, but a little more relaxation in the arm, and you're going to get a little bit better sound. And I think also a crisper, cleaner sound for the staccatos. Okay. Okay. So I think this has been an excellent lesson. It's a lot of repertoire that you've brought in today. So I really think you've done some excellent work on it, and I know you'll get to do more practicing. For the rest, have you finished the sonata yet? No. I don't remember if we worked on the second movement yet. So if you would like, you might want to take a look at the second and third movements. Okay. I like my students to learn whole sonatas as opposed to just single movements of things. Yeah. So, and there was something else that you started of Chopin. What was it? Was it for something? Oh no, it was going to be the Schumann Kinderszenen, right? No. No? I didn't give you that? What did I give you?
I don't really remember. I don't think anything really new.
No?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Then maybe you should at least pick up start learning the rest. You were going to do that Moonlight Sonata.
Oh yeah,
right?
Third movement. Yeah, I bet I barely started that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
You were going to do the third movement, right? Yeah. Well, you certainly could do that, or you can learn this.
Okay.
If you learn the second and third movements here, they'll have a whole sonata.
Mm.
And then you could even put together a small recital.
Mm.
You can put together some Chopin pieces,
Yeah.
and some Beethoven, and the Debussy, and you have a recital there. If you would like to learn maybe another Debussy piece, you only have a single.
Yeah.
You have this in a single version. I was going to maybe suggest some Debussy preludes that might be nice for you to learn. How about we do that, at the next lesson, maybe bring in this Beethoven, and we'll discuss a couple of other short pieces that we can add.
Okay.
Then you can have like a little program,
Yeah.
It would be nice. Have you done ever a solo recital?
Not for just me. I've played open house and stuff, but not just me.
And student recitals, like other students and things. Yeah, so I think it's time that you start thinking about putting together a whole recital program, and perhaps you might like to do something, 20th century, like Bartok or Prokofiev or something. So we can think about maybe Diabolical Suggestions of Prokofiev. You might want to listen to that, or L'Allegro Barbaro. I don't know if you'll have time to learn a whole Prokofiev sonata, but like the third one, one of the early ones might be a little shorter than some of the later war sonatas. So definitely give a listen and come back to me with what your ideas, if there's anything that you might like to learn, because I think you could use a little more now in the contemporary repertoire. Okay. And maybe you want to learn a concerto. You never know. I mean, you never know if you might be able to enter in a concerto competition,
That's true.
So, listen, I'm going to turn off the video now. So...